My name is Scott. My company is On Time Supply. We are a wholesale fastener and a power tool distributor in Suffolk, New York.
I know that you had purchased NetSuite prior to us working together. Tell me a little bit about part of that purchasing decision process, why to select NetSuite in general and go through a technology transformation. Maybe you could tell me about some pain points you had in your business before.
Yeah, so we were on a cloud-based system previously. It was a smaller company. You had to log on via Microsoft Remote Desktop to log on to it. It wasn't really easy to use on your phone or on an iPad, things like that. It was kind of limiting certain things with integrations with API features and things like that we were trying to achieve and get to the next step in our business. April of 23 is when we originally went live. And when we went live, it was with NetSuite Professional Services. We had a rough go live with their team. Roughly 4 months later, we stumbled across the Anchor Group when we were looking up Suite Commerce consultants, and I called to you. And then I got Dom. And since then, I would say we've been doing an ungodly amount of improvements and specialty features and performance fixes, form changes, custom forms. Like, we're to the point now where we're seeing the benefits of all of the things that we were doing. It was hard work for a lot of people, not just your consultants or myself, but other people that we've worked with along the way, the accountants, the other technology companies, yada yada yada, a lot of different things. But now the system is really turning into things that we want to see, and it's allowing us to do things that we weren't able to do, or we could, but we needed to do like the baby steps before we could go to the next steps, which I think we're doing now. And that's like with current integrations and stuff like that, you could see real improvements.
Well, looking back, we've been working enough together where with any engagement, there's going to be great wins and there's going to be struggles too. We'll start with kind of a win, and then I want to ask you about a struggle too, because I think it's important for people to know both sides. What is the entirety of it and not sugarcoat things, right? So
Yeah.
if we look at one of the things that was, let's call it a success, is there a time that you can think of that was particularly challenging for you that we helped solve a problem?
When we started with you guys, our advanced PDF forms for picking and packing slips were so botched that they wouldn't work properly. The warehouse wouldn't know what items to pick and things like that. It would supposed to be you want to pick one of this, tool A or 2B, and it would say 7 or 9 or 14 or just make something up because the previous implementation team made some bad forms, and Dominic fixed them with a couple other guys from your team, and he did them instantly, and that was super. They've got the advanced forms, they fixed them, they cleaned them up, and it's something that we've been consistently working on for over a year. We added on the bins to the picking slip, so the guys in the warehouse could use the bins right off the thing there, so we know where to fulfill from if we're not using our WMS system. And I think that's something that you guys have been doing for other people now since we started doing it for our thing. I think that's something that you've used and like had situations that other people wanted the same thing too, which is awesome.
Now, on the flip side, I'm sure that there's going to be times, I don't actually know of this, it's guaranteed that there's going to be some type of more challenging project that takes longer than expected, that maybe is frustrating from one reason or another. And I think it's important for people to know that that does exist. And it's important to know what is the professionalism that went through trying to figure it out and get it across the line at the end of the day. Is there an example that has been more frustrating? I bet there is. I'm just guessing.
When we started, we didn't really know everything about NetSuite accounting methods, and we needed a lot of things specifically made up for our accountant and our bookkeeper that had to do with taxes, and that was a situation that it took a pretty long time to get under control. We originally thought it was going to be like a report building that we would be able to do that was going to take, like 6 hours or something like that. And the in-depthness that we had to go to be sufficient for our accountants, it almost took like 30 working hours of consultant time. And it just was a thing. It was a tough one, definitely. But in the end, we got it solved, and we were able to make the safe searches and reports that provided us the data we needed for them. It just took a really long time to do it, but it worked. Safe searches are definitely better for us than reports.
Yes. I agree. In
Once you
general,
figure
I
out how to,
like safe searches more.
yeah, once you figure out how to use them and make them, it's definitely better. Yeah, I mean, we have saved searches in our system that's associated with sales orders and a sales history that was also created by Anchor Group. And I think it is one of the most helpful things that you guys created for us, because basically for customers who are repetitively buying things, like in a wholesale business, they buy a lot of the things over and over and over again. When they buy them, they use them. Buy them again, they use them. So instead of me having to type in a new item number every time, I could just go to my history, type a word or an item number, click, type in the amount they want, 10, and add the order, and it goes right to the order and done.
Yeah, I think that it's really fun observing the different stages and taking a client from this comes up a lot where we would take over and help do optimizations. And I can't always blame other people. I get it. Implementations are hard. There are
Yeah.
super challenges to try and to go through that. But it's really fun. I find the optimization one of the funnest parts of working on the NetSuite ecosystem is
Me
because
too.
you can observe that 5 steps forward.
Yeah, I love it. I love when you do something and it doesn't work sometimes in a row, and then after 3 or 4 tries of fixing it, you get it, and it works the way you want it to work, and it's a awesome feeling to get it done. And then when you see it working and achieving automation and shortcuts and manual time, and no one wants to do manual time anymore. No one wants the workers to do things that can be done automatically. It's super helpful, and I really enjoy figuring that too. Sometimes things don't work the first try, but we seem to be getting it going. Especially me and Dom working together. It's been awesome. I've worked with a lot of people at the Anchor Group, but I would it's like a silly pun way to say it, but like Dom is my anchor, and I would go to battle with that man. He could do anything that I've asked him to do, and if he can't do it, he figures it out and gets it done in a very timely basis. I mean, not that, everyone should do this, but like if Dom is working at 9 o'clock at night on something, he texts me, he's like, Scott, look what I just did. I made it work. Or it can be, early in the morning the next day. He is as excited and happy to do, work on especially with my team. He's the man. So
Yeah.
I am super happy that we got someone that's so cool to work with, and I wouldn't change Dominic at all.
That's awesome. Now, I know there's talked a little bit about some of the more technical things, and then kind of pivoting to some of the relationship aspects. I think that there is some things on the relationship, like, I guess a question I have is, like, do you feel heard and valued?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's not even a question. I have no even amount of time that I've called Dominic, Casey, yourself, and heard. I mean, you picked up the phone for me when you were going on a trip with you and your family to Europe to go hiking. You went for like a long vacation. You picked up the phone for me when you were there. Dominic texts me back late at night or picks up the phone early in the morning if I call him. Casey, the same thing. I feel very heard. I feel like everyone that I work with takes my opinion and listens to it and tells me, Scott, I think this is wrong, but let's see what happens. And they might even try to do it if it's wrong. And then they're like, okay, we're going to do this if it's right, or takes my opinion or my value or my voice and, mixes it in to make something that is working. I ask for things a lot. I could be thinking of something at 2 a.m. and I could email it to Dom, and at 7 a.m. in the morning, he texts me back, you're crazy, let's do something else instead of this, or let's do it this way versus that way. So I feel like it's a great team effort, which is awesome, because work gets done way more efficiently when you're working with people that you're able to communicate clearly with and be open and honest, rather than, like you said earlier, it's not just about transactional. It's not about like, hey, I need this done and I'm going to pay you so-and-so amount of money to do it. No, it's how the way you get there that makes it the difference. And the same way, I go to business, and my business is I want to, be as nice as I can to all the people I work with. And I know that's going to reciprocate back to me. I feel like the members of your team have done that with me. I can't speak for anyone else, but, they have all been a super joy to work with. I haven't really had a complaint at all.
It's great.
Yeah.
Awesome.